What is up, guys? The LA Gamer here, and today I am bringing you guys episode number 21 of my MLB 17 The Show 30-1 Rebuild series. For those of you who are new to the series, the 30-1 Rebuild series is a series where I attempt to rebuild the 30th to the number 1 ranked team in MLB, obviously, and try to make them World Series perennial contenders. So, consistently, kind of obviously, as we move along here, things have been getting, I would say, quite a bit easier. Obviously, as we get to the higher ranks, each team's going to have a little bit better of a roster. So we're on track here to hopefully, pretty soon we're going to start being with these really good teams. We're going to start playing with the, all these OP teams like the Astros. The Astros, it's so weird to think that the Astros are so great now. I mean, I'm thinking about it, and obviously I'm an Angels fan. I remember when they were in the NL Central and there were 6 teams. They moved to the AL West. There's the NL Central that they're in, I believe. But anyways, they moved to the AL West. I was stoked as an Angels fan because I was like, dude, this team's going to just suck. And now they're amazing. They're the ones killing us in the division. So it really looks like all that came back to bite me. But regardless, now is when we have to start looking through some interesting stuff. Like I said, the ranks are constantly changing. So we're going to have to really do some math here to find out which team it is that we are supposed to be doing in today's episode. So look here. We have to find the lowest ranked team that we have not done yet. Did the Reds. Okay, Pirates, I don't think they'd be it. The Diamondbacks. Have we done them yet? I think we have. I need to open up my playlist with all my rebuilds. Diamondbacks, maybe? No, we haven't done the Diamondbacks. Am I tripping? I am. Why do I think we did the Diamondbacks? Anyways, as mentioned in the last episode where I was the Braves are interesting because I had history with them because they were on my Road to the Show character. Well, the Diamondbacks do too, because I also played with that team on my Road to the Show character. Like I said in the last episode, my Road to the Show characters had a bit of a interesting path, so I have a pretty good history of what each of these teams are and what they can do, especially in simulations. So we're going to do the normal, just do those two things. Now we're going to go into spring training. As you guys know, there's always quite a few nice free agents out there for us to pick up, so we're going to try to take advantage of that. As usual, we kind of do this every time. Let's just trade for a couple of prospects. And as mentioned, the whole idea of doing this is just to budgetary constraints, really. Okay, that guy sucks, but the whole idea of this is purely to open up some roster spots so we can do the free agency signings. So we want to sign Shohei Ohtani. That guy turned into like a 98 overall for me, so there's no chance of not signing him. I'm gonna sign Fujinami. We need to sign Yamada. I'm just signing all the guys I know I signed in the last episode who were pretty solid for us. We need to release one guy. So anybody that's worth releasing, sure. It's not that much money to let go of, and we'll sign him because I think he ended up being pretty decent for us too. But when you guys mentioned you wanted to show Ohtani's secondary stats, you guys mentioned that Ohtani is not just a top-notch pitcher in Japan, but he's apparently viewed as a quality batter as well, and you guys were interested in seeing how they were going to rank him in that way. So with that being the case, if you guys look at his batting stats, I mean, obviously they're not anywhere close to professional level, but I mean, technically, if we turned Ohtani into we turned him into a hitter and he had the A potential, I mean, likely it is with that contact and power, he could end up being a pretty effective position player at some point in the major leagues. And to be able to hit like that as a pitcher, especially with us being a National League team, I'm going to try to take full advantage of that. But either way, starting pitching, well, with Ohtani being that good, he's going to get a chance as a rookie. Let's see where he's on top 50 prospects. He already is number 5. So that's the importance of signing him. I recommend that you guys, obviously, if you're doing a franchise, start in spring training, then sign him, because that's a pretty quick way to get at least one very good prospect on your team. So now we have Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley, I didn't know he got moved to a reliever spot, actually. Still got A potential, so he could end up being a really good reliever, but just, I always liked that pitcher. So we have 2 guys that get into being pretty good relievers due to their potential. In terms of our actual starting pitching, not very good, but all of it has some potential. I mean, a lot of it has potential. We need a new closer. Fernando Rodney, obviously getting up there in age, and he's only a 67 overall with that in mind, so by the end of the season, likely it is, he'll be a really low overall. So we need a new closer in the offseason. Probably a new catcher. I don't mind Iannetta. He's just, I don't know, he's just not that great. I'm kind of on the fence with him. Goldschmidt obviously is a keeper. He's a perennial MVP candidate in this game. Jake Lamb I like. He can hit the ball. I like his hitting stats versus righties. His lefty hitting stats can get a little bit better, but I'm going to let him go up there and crank a few balls. Nick Ahmed. I thought he was a top prospect. Maybe am I tripping? I might be tripping. We got a good left fielder here in Yasmani Thomas. Got a good center fielder in AJ Pollock. And we can live with David Peralta out there in right field. So I actually like this outfield. So the main things we need to work on. I mean, the main things that we like are an essential thing to work on are probably our pitching. I like Greinke, or Greinke. Is it Greinke? I think it's Greinke. It's a very whatever. It's a very slight interpretation of the name. I like him obviously. He's a very nice pitcher, but he's getting up there in age and he's getting a pretty big contract. So let's see how many years we have him for. 5. If he starts declining even a little bit, like it is, we're going to be looking to trade him to get a little bit more talent on our team. Or we can do that right now and get a few top prospects. I don't know. Let's wait and see a season and see what we can do. Relieving wise, we might want to add a few relievers. And so majority of it is in terms of pitching depth. That's where we got to do most of our moves. And in the past few rebuilds, that seems to be how it's been. It's just working on the pitching depth and then occasionally getting a big hitter. The last franchise that did the Braves, we did a lot of pitching fixes and then eventually some big hitters came up on the board and we were able to get Bryce Harper and Chris Bryant. So that's just my strategy now, is just focus on the pitching first and then focus on position players later. Either way, I'm starting to ramble a little bit, so right now we are going to do some scouting, and I'll see you guys in a second once we pick up towards the actual rookie draft. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay guys, we're approaching just a few days away from the first year's rookie draft. Us being the Arizona Diamondbacks, I don't know off the top of my head, not for sure on what their record was looking like last season, but I'm assuming just based off, I think it was more towards the middle of the pack, like maybe 10th pick or so. Somewhere around there. Right now we're not looking that great, 21 and 30. I mean, pretty much where we should be expecting to be. We're about the 22nd best team in the league, or 21st, wherever we are. We're around there. So this team obviously is made to be a little bit difficult, but either way, okay, you know, we have the 7th pick. I'm gonna like that. So with that, let's see how there's a pretty good there's a pretty good blue chip prospect draft class, and these guys got like all the good ones right there. Any more blue chips? I'm not quite. Oh, there's a few. There's a few closers, but that's about it. Do we? I mean, you know. Okay, so before we hop into any of that, what I want to mention is we have a few solid starting pitcher prospects though. A lot of these are 2021 plus ETAs. Not really interested in a lot of that. What I am interested in, Eddie Escobar looks like he can be pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. We got an 80 potential here in James Conner, who can be great. We got an 80 potential here with Carlos Vizcaíno. So we have 2 solid 80s and one guy who can turn into a 75 potential, which means he could probably turn into like a low 80s, and we have 2 guys that could turn into high 80s to low 90s players. Or we can get a closer with a very high potential, with like a really high ceiling, and then we don't have to worry about Fernando Rodney. We can get rid of him. And then our closing pitcher situation is kind of, you know, set in stone for a while. I think I could do that, because closing pitchers are expensive, but I can always trade for one because they're not worth that much. It's a tough situation to be in. Do I want to trade for a closer, or do I want to draft one right now? If I draft one right now, I'm taking the chance of losing one of those starting pitchers that I really like. But we already have a lot of starting pitcher prospects, so that's not the most important thing right now. So I think we need to go with the closer. So now it's about differentiating between these two and which one I want more, because they're kind of similar. In terms of their stat lines, velocity break, all that good stuff. This guy looked a little bit better. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's tough to fully determine because these things never seem to be right. Yeah, he seems to be just slightly better in every category. So we're going to get Brent Fowler. And let me just say, that's a bit out of ordinary. I did this in the last rebuild too. I don't normally draft a closer. It's very weird. It's not something I normally do. But with us doing that, we still have quite a few very quality pitchers up here. It looks like one of the pitchers I wanted may have gotten taken, but Vizcaíno is still there, so we'll get him with 80 potential. Obviously, he's going to be a couple of years to develop before he's even a major league level pitcher, but he's still, I mean, at some point he could develop into a really nice pitcher, so I'm happy to get him. Anybody else? You know, we might just, let's draft this guy for trade bait, because he's a 55 overall already, and he's going to have high potential, so we might use him purely for trade bait. Any other positions I looked at? I mean, The second baseman could end up being decent at some point. I mean, yeah, he's only 18, so we can get him. I mean, it's one of those things where this draft class wasn't extremely deep, but there was a lot of really good starting pitchers in this draft. But we kind of already filled out the starting pitcher position. I mean, I'm happy with this draft so far. We got 2 solid guys, 2 solid trade bait players that can maybe manipulate into, into some form of trade. We'll get this guy just in case. Now we can send the rest. The draft class kind of went downhill after that. Signed draft picks. Brent Fowler's a 93 potential. Vizcaíno was a 90 potential. Jack Lopez is also a 90 potential. Much lower overall, though, so it'll take him. I mean, he might not develop into anything. Brent Fowler, though, 93 or potential with 72 overall. He's a lefty, too. He could turn into a really solid closer for me if he develops quickly enough. Already a 72. That's already good enough to be our starter. If he can turn into like a 80 to 85 between 1 to 2 seasons, that's all you need in a closing pitcher. Oh, this Henry Marquez, is that the guy we took it? No, our team drafted as a pretty solid player, actually. Okay, so we got in terms of potential, we had a pretty solid draft. Any crazy prospects in this draft? Jack Nichols, this guy's really good. Anybody else with just crazy high potential? Looks like Robert Crump, okay, but he's not very high overall. Okay. Otto Herrera, that was probably the other closing pitcher I could have gotten. I don't quite remember his name, but that was him. He has 1 higher potential, but way lower overall, so I'm happy with the pick. I don't know if that was him for sure, though. Either way, one last thing I want to do before we move back into the simulations, I want to trade Greinke. The reason I'm going to do that is he is already starting to decline. You see those stats, already -2 in almost every single one. And he's 7-2 with a 1.95 ERA, which should mean that his trade potential is about as high as it can get right now. I don't know what exactly. We could have gotten a really nice closer in Zach Britton, but we don't need to do that anymore. So let's say we're looking for a position player, hypothetically. Yamada can take over second base in a couple of years. Jake Lamb, I like him. Maybe a new shortstop would be awesome. Shortstop or right field primarily is probably what we need the most. No way we're getting Xander Bogaerts. That'd be awesome though. We can get Tulu. Can't get Tim Anderson. Definitely can get Francisco Lindor. We can get Angelton Simmons. That's going to be about the best player we can probably get. Ooh, Carlos Correa would be really. He's having a great season too. Is there a way we can add something to get Correa? We can add a potential prospect here, and then maybe Come on. Add Goldschmidt. Even Yamada's not going to take it over. Yeah, not even Jake Lamb. I'd have to add an AJ Pollock. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Gene Segura is pretty good. We don't even need to add Wander Franco, probably. We can still easily get Segura. He's pretty solid. 292 batting average so far this season. He's got really good contact stats. Might bring him back to Arizona. About a 319 when he was here. That might be worth it. Anything else we can probably get for this? Maybe a reliever or two. Yeah, we can get one solid reliever there. Edwin, can we throw in this crazy good closer? Can we somehow get... If we add in Wander Franco, we can get him. He's really good at closing. And we can get Ryan Cook. Yeah, okay, we're going to do that then. So with that trade, oh god, Fujinami's 1-7 with a 6.66. The Devil, he's got the Devil's ERA. That's threatening. Okay, Shelby Miller, we're gonna pitch to the MLB from Single A. He's a pretty solid pitcher too. Otani's 0-5. So these Japanese pitchers are not working out for me. Patrick Corbin's doing fantastic, and Tajon Walker's doing pretty awesome too. Closer-wise, now we have Edwin Diaz. We have a solid closer now. And we have that closer that we drafted. So we'll probably move him to the bullpen or something. But either way, we're going to have two really good closers. And obviously, it's not a big deal because you'll just move one to like a setup role and have one be the actual closer. So we lost Greinke, but now we have Gene Segura, who's a nice, young, quality shortstop. We got Goldschmidt, who's obviously a very good first baseman. We got Pollock, who I like a lot, center field. And I like Yasmani Thomas, too. He's not playing that great. So we want Peralta. we want a few changes, especially with second and third. I mean, we can definitely see some improvements. So we're gonna keep moving on here. See if any of these, hopefully some of these guys develop. But we're gonna move on now into the free agency and all that good stuff. So I'll see you guys once the free agency market opens up. Or first off, we'll go to the end of the season. Then I'll show you guys end of the season stats. Then we'll go to the free agency market and see what we can do there. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, the season just ended with us as 72 and 90. So oh, my cat's excited. Okay, so that didn't go that great. Ohtani went to an 82 overall though. You see all of his stats increasing pretty nicely. So velocity is a 99. Wow. Finished 5 and 13 with a 4.07. That's not what you want. But Patrick Corbin finished with a 2.8 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. So he had a great season. Looking forward to seeing him get better. Tajon Walker did great too. 12 and 8 with a 3.3 run, 3-1. Robbie Ray didn't do that great. And Shelby Miller, once he finally came in, actually did pretty good. So let's see how Edwin Diaz did in his transition. 2.56 ERA, 2 and 6. I mean, that's probably blew a few saves. So he didn't do that great, but I mean, that's still a really solid closer. At only 23 years old too. That's pretty awesome. So lineup wise, we're gonna have to go through this way, but Gene Segura did awful. And why is he in such a bad mood? Just a lot of things are not going his way, I guess. He did not do that great. 239 average, 20 home runs, 29 stolen bases. So he still hit a 20 and 20 season, but maybe getting him was not the best idea with Greinke as our asset. AJ Pollock had 27 home runs and 28 stolen bases, so he had a great year, almost a 30-30 season with a 278 batting average. I'm super happy with that. Goldschmidt had a great season, 328 batting average, 25 home runs, and 81 RBI. Jake Lamb improving rapidly, improving actually very well. 82 overall now. He had a great stat line too. David Peralta batted 291. He had a great stat line. Braden Drury did not bat that well, and his stats are declining a little bit, so we might need to be worried about that. Yasmani Thomas also declining, which I don't understand because he has B potential, but yeah, this lineup's gonna need some work. That's where a lot of we need to pick this apart, because I think the only three guys I want to keep are probably Pollock, Goldschmidt, and Lamb. Segura obviously kind of dropped off the map, so that kind of sucks. We basically traded Greinke for a reliever and a closer, so we kind of fucked up that trade. But you win some, you lose some. That's part of a rebuild. Sometimes you just make the wrong trades. Either way, it didn't make much of a difference. In fact, our record might have even been better from post Greinke era compared to before Greinke. So he really did not make that big of an impact. We might keep Segura though. He is. We'll probably re-sign him for 1 year of arbitration and see if he'll improve. But if he doesn't, then we gotta fix him and a few other positions as well. So we're gonna sign our guys, and I'll see you guys once we actually get to the real free agency. Once we try to sign some big players, and then we'll figure it out from there. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, we are now at free agency. We did sign everybody we wanted to sign. Let's go over here. We signed just about everybody we needed to. A lot of guys that we didn't, but we put a lot of money just into re-signing players. A few big guys had to be re-signed. A few all-stars, obviously, in AJ Pollock and Edwin Diaz. Now we have Pollock for quite a long time. I like him a lot, so I want Pollock on the team. So we had to give him some big money, obviously. He's played in the league for quite a while now, too, so we had to pay through his arbitration and all that stuff, so he cost a lot more money than he normally would have. But with that being the case, I mean, now it's a tough situation because we don't have any money to sign just about anybody. Getting a guy like Arrieta is almost a no-go because he's looking to play for a contender, and obviously currently with our roster, that's not something we just aren't. So we can look to get some relievers like a Pedro Strop, and maybe, I don't know, there's a few decent pitchers we can probably get up here. So that's pretty good. And then we're gonna have a really crappy catcher this year. That's one thing that I didn't invest a lot of money into. I didn't even re-sign Iannetta. We need a left fielder, but these guys aren't long-term solutions. So there's not like any big players that are like going to be a long-term solution to what our issues are right now. So maybe getting a few relievers. We can't afford any of that. We can't even afford any of those guys that we're giving like $1 million to. So yeah, we are way under budget right now. We don't have any money to sign these players. So, and for this year specifically, we just don't have any money to sign these guys. So with that being the case, we are just going to focus on improving our current roster and making sure that they develop correctly, because we have all the potential, I think, to make this team good. It's just mainly our hitting now that we have to work on, because I think we have a pretty good farm system now with our pitching. I think all these guys can turn out to be mid-80s pitchers, and Ohtani could be an ace with the mid to high 90s overall. But with that being the case, now I think what we need to work on is just getting a few better relievers. I think we're on the right track with our closers. and then just getting a few better hitters to complement Pollock and Goldschmidt. So let's focus on doing that, and I'll see you guys in just a second as we try to improve our pitching and all that stuff. Yeah, so I'll see you guys about, let's say, draft time next season and see if we can draft any big name rookie hitters, or see if we can hopefully find one and then draft them. So I'll see you guys about draft time, and let's see if we can find anybody. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, we're about to approach draft time, so let's just sim through here, and let me just show something. We're 37 and 22 right now, and I'm just watching the sim. I'm doing the rookie draft, scouting, and all that stuff, right? And I'm actually just stoked with how things are going on. I'm just surprised. First of all, there's been huge overall improvements. Now, outside of like morale boost, has a lot of these guys overalls going up a lot higher. That's the thing. We made our coaching a lot better, and things like that, and it's really proving to be beneficial because it's making the team a lot better. But look at Patrick Corbin right now. He is 10-0 with a 1.99 ERA. Coming off a season, remember last season where he was great with a 2.8. This year he is 10-0. He's only pitched in 12 games, I think. He pitched in 12 games. He's won 10 of them. He has not lost any of them. With a less than 2 ERA, which puts him, I'm pretty sure, yes, as the Cy Young Award. I mean, projected to be the Cy Young Award. Whatever. At this pace, he's going to go like 30-0. I mean, obviously that's not going to happen, but like, what the hell? He is whooping ass, and I love it. I'm loving every second of it. Now, I'm kind of curious. I wonder what it'd be like to trade for Cody Bellinger. He's a really nice prospect. First baseman. He can also be a left fielder. We need a left fielder. We might let him play left field because he has good fielding, arm strength, arm accuracy. Let's see what a trade for him would be like. Now, I also want to say, dude, this draft class is stacked. This has been a great rebuild to this point. I mean, the guys that we have on this team already have been great for us. We haven't really had to make any moves. The only move we made was trading Greinke for a few other players, but the rebuild's been pretty easy so far because everybody's developing and doing their job, and I really like it when that happens. Making my job easy, I really appreciate it. No, I'm looking at left fielders. It's first baseman Cody Bellinger. Bellinger obviously being one of the top prospects in all of baseball currently. I have to assume he's not an easy person to trade for. I mean, if we threw in Pollock, yeah, it's not worth it. Okay, that would just be a cool trade, so I want to look at it. But we're almost at draft time, and I want to mention that I'm really excited about the draft. I know I already said it, but we have the 8th pick, and to be honest, I don't even care if they take the any blue chip prospects because I found so many good players who aren't blue chip prospects. Let me go through this right now. First off, let's go. I think I found like a great player at almost every position. So right field, Joseph Wynn, 75 potential, 70 overall, or already a 70 overall. Already has the potential to be a great hitter. Look at that. 75 power left, 75 power right, 80 contact left, 70 contact right. This guy could be an absolute ball. He could just ball out at right field. He wouldn't be the best fielder or anything. Actually, yes, he would. 75 fielding. He just wouldn't have the greatest potential. The potential is only 75, but he would be a mid to high 80s overall guy who can just slam baseballs out of the right field. So he'd almost be like a downgraded version of Giancarlo Stanton with better contact, less power, more contact, better. I mean, he'd be like Giancarlo, just a dip. I don't know why that's the only person that's coming to mind. He'd be a good right fielder. That's what I'm saying. Center field, we got Phil St. John. This guy he has great contact and speed. 80 speed, 80 reaction, 75 fielding. I'm just looking at the potential side of things. 75 contact right and 80 contact left. If the guy pans out to be what we want him to be, if we were to get him, he'd be a perennial steal, like 50 stolen bases a year type of guy with a hopefully 300 batting average. If you can get that out of any leadoff spot, you have one of the best leadoff hitters in all of baseball. That's an awesome player. Left field, we didn't get much talent there. Shortstop, some talent. We got a shortstop here, Jason Perez. Great fielder, great speed, great stealing. But we probably want to get him because ETA is a bit later. But if he's on the board in a couple of rounds, we have to be looking to get him possibly. Third base, I like this guy a lot. Burnside, Christopher Burnside, looking to be a top, or looking to be an MLB player here in just a year or two. With a 75 potential, he's got 80 contact left, 75 contact right, 75 play vision, 75 play discipline, 75 fielding. I mean, just looking at those hitting stats, the power's not there. Not normally, the power's not there for what you want for a third baseman. It isn't. You want more power out of a third baseman. But with that contact, vision, and discipline, he's looking to be a guy who might only hit 15 home runs a year, but he could be batting 320 every year, and that's an awesome player to have. And obviously, if you guys can tell, I obviously scouted hitting players. I look for players that can really hit the baseball. I found a lot of them. Second base, we have Felix Flores. 80 contact right, 80 contact left, 75 play vision, not very great discipline, and decent power. The power numbers can go up to about 50. This is a second baseman who also could be batting about 320 a year. And he can be a very great player. He's got the 80 potential. He can be, low 90s, mid 90s overall second baseman. What more could you ask for? Catcher, we have an 80 potential catcher in front of us. His fielding is ridiculous. The hitting's not where it needs to be. He's got good power though. But we would get him for the fielding. 80 fielding, 80 arm strength, 80 blocking, 75 arm accuracy. We could have one of the best fielding catchers in all of baseball. We didn't look at pitching, but think about it this way. We have about 7 prospects with ridiculous hitting potential. Likely it is we're going to walk away with maybe 3 of them. So now it's a decision of which 3 do we want. First off, I think we need to go with the catcher. He has the highest potential of any of them. Already a 70 overall with 80 potential. Not the greatest field or not the greatest hitting, but amazing fielding. And truthfully, we need a catcher more than any other position on the board. So Carlos Torres will be the first pick for us. If we're lucky, we'll still have a few of those guys left over by the next round. Now right field. Did what's his face get taken? It looks like he did. He got taken 2 picks ago. Joseph Wynn to the Philadelphia Phillies. We might be looking to get him in a trade. Phil St. John is still there though. We can get Phil St. John. Why is it not letting me sort? Okay, there we go. So Phil St. John's still there. Our third baseman got taken. Just about everybody we wanted got taken, really. Oh, that's unfortunate. Still, like I said, St. John's still up there. That's the only other guy really that we have that's really talented. But that was a really good draft class. There were so many good guys that we could have gone. But let's look at everybody who got taken, where they went. Was it? No, it wasn't Alvarado. It wasn't Reyes. Who did I want third base? Was it Aguero? No. It was this guy, Burnside. He got picked only 10th overall to the Royals. So he got picked really quick. I might do something crazy. Felix Flores got picked the next pick to the A's. What if I just traded some prospects and got all these guys on our team and we just had a crazy prospect team? Out of all these guys, just out of this one draft class, we had 5 great players. I mean, I might do that because, let's just write down these team names or these players real quick. Because who says this wouldn't be cool? So just give me 1 second to do this. Burnside Royals. I'm just gonna text it in a little notepad I have on my iPhone. Next up is Flores A's, and we're just gonna take a look at them in the next season and see if we can, if we can pick them up. Cause that'd be pretty awesome to have all those crazy players on your team. And then win Phillies. So let me do that real quick. And then, okay, so with that being the case, the last guy we really can get is Phil St. John. I was hoping we would get 3 guys. We're going to walk away with only 2 of those 5 crazy prospects. But 2 out of 5, 40%. That's pretty awesome still. You're not going to see me complaining about that. You just won't. So, but everybody else we can draft. We could take a risk, or we could just get a for sure decent player. I think we might just go with Rene Ramirez because he has 80 potential, and he might be trade bait too. So sign draft picks. Carlos Torres turned to a 90 potential. Phil St. John only an 81. Oh, he did not pan out like I wanted. I want to be like high 80s potential. And Rene Ramirez mid 80s. Great speed and stealing though. And Phil St. John already has the speed, the fielding, and the contact to be a great player. Just doesn't have a very good arm. But he'd be a pretty solid center fielder for us. And then, as you guys know, Torres is supposed to be pretty good. Any guys that... Okay, let's just look around and look at the guys that we really wanted to get that are on the other teams and see if they're worth even picking up. So first off, we have to look at the Royals. They got Burnside, 84 potential. He's got good contact. Okay, so now a better thing is maybe he's like a Mike Moustakas type of player. Good contact, pretty good fielding. Maybe that's the right build for him. It's like a Moustakas. If we're looking at the A's now, they have Felix Flores at 87. He's got great contact. Yeah, okay. His potential wasn't the craziest though. It said he had 80 potential, but it didn't pan out fully like they probably were planning. Next up, we got the Phillies. And they picked up Joseph Wynn, who only has 81 potential, but he's got great hitting. But it might not pan out to be exactly. So It was a great draft class with some solid players that can hit the ball. But I think we still got some great guys with St. John and Torres. So I'm still really happy. And they're already high overalls. They're already in the low 70s. So Torres will be a starter just the next season. So that's how that draft went. I'm really happy. I wish, like I said, I wish I just started live streaming these things. I might consider starting a live stream here pretty soon. Jake Lamb went up to an 89 overall. Look at this. Ben, he's not bad in that grade, but he's 89 overall. Or naturally an 85, but he's really happy about the team, so it moved him up to 89 overall. But yeah, so if you guys have any interest in live streaming, I actually might consider doing that at some point, doing live streaming through YouTube. If you guys like the idea, I'll start doing that, just so I can get your guys' opinions while I'm actually doing the rebuild. But with that in mind, that's gonna be all we do for the season. Probably we're probably just move on into the playoffs. Maybe we'll be a playoff team. We're already 38-23. Currently only 3 games back. We probably have the number 1 wild card spot. So we should actually be a playoff team. But we'll just wait and see. We're gonna spend the rest of the season. I'll go to the playoffs and we'll see if anything big happens there. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, the season just ended and we finished 101-61. Now we're only like a season in. I've never done a rebuild this quick. And this team's not even, we didn't even do like anything to this team. Like the Diamondbacks, we're just like having a huge statistical anomaly where everybody on our team is just clicking on every cylinder at the same time, it feels like. Gene Segura was a all-star and possibly, I mean, look at those stats. 287 batting average, 28 home runs, 77 RBI. The dude's already like a, I mean, that's a candidate for the best shortstop in the league with stats like that. Center field, we got Pollock, who batted 301 with 30 home runs, 82 RBIs, and 25 stolen bases. So even better than last season. I mean, that's just awesome. Goldschmidt batted 292 with 31 home runs, 96 RBI. Jake Lamb batted 273 with 36 home runs, 106 RBI, and all the OPSs are just through the roof. Peralta batted 294 with 15 home runs and 66 RBI. Yasmani Thomas batted 241, 23 home runs, 85 RBI. Brandon Drury batted bad, so we're not going to mention his stats. Chris Owings batted 303. A guy who's not even usually that great of a hitter. I mean, his second best season that actually has some, value to it was this season where he batted 277. Now he batted 303 this year. And Ronnie Freeman is our catcher, and that's the thing. It's like, you guys know we need a new catcher, so that's why we drafted one. But statistically, everybody's clicking. Now I can say I mean, Jake Lamb is only 87 overall, but because he keeps, I mean, look at his potential. He keeps going up higher and higher and higher. And because he's ecstatic about playing on this team, he now has 92 overall. I stuttered really bad right there, but 92 overall. And with these 4 guys and Peralta, I mean, now I was about to say, remember last season I was like, we're going to scrap this whole lineup. Well, we might be keeping all of it because it's doing that well. Edwin Diaz out of the bullpen, not that great of a closer actually, 3.52 ERA, not super stoked with that one. Ryan Cook also not doing that good. RG Bradley with the ERA is pretty good. None of the ERAs are that impressive, besides TJ McFarland, actually a low overall. The lowest overall in the bullpen has the best stats. Rotation-wise, though, this is where it gets really impressive, if I remember correctly. Ohtani finished 14-10 with a 3.03 ERA. Tajon Walker 13-9 with a 2.83 ERA. Patrick Corbin 15-5 with a 2.79. I know you guys were probably expecting some crazier stuff, considering he was like 11-0 or 10-0. He went to go 13-0. He was 13-0 before the All-Star break, and then after the All-Star break, he only went 2-5, which is weird because he pitched a lot of games, but he just was not getting very many decisions. It's just a 15-5. His win percentage was 75% though, so I mean, you're gonna take those. You're gonna take that and be happy with it. Shelby Miller 15-2 with a 3.4 ERA. Robbie Ray 14-5 with a 3.02 ERA. So ERA wise, the average ERA on this team is just about 3, which is crazy. That's crazy low. I mean, let's look at. If we're looking at team rankings. Batting, we are 6th. At bats, we are 12. Look at that, doesn't make a big difference. Runs, we're 5th. Hits, we're 5th. Doubles, we're 5th. Triples, I don't think we have a fast team. We're tied for 20th. Yeah, we don't have a very fast team, besides a few guys. Home runs, we're 10th. RBIs, we're 5th. Stolen bases, we're 4th. Funny that we're so low in triples, but we're so high in stolen bases. Caught stealing, probably pretty low here too then. No, actually 7th. So we haven't even been caught stealing, we've been stealing a lot of bases. So our stolen base percentage is 1st in the league, which is crazy. Considering the amount of stolen bases we have to have the highest stolen bases, that's kind of crazy. Walks, I don't know. This doesn't make a big difference considering a lot of things. Yeah, it's 24th. Strikeouts, we might strike out a lot. These things, yeah, 25th, but these things don't make a big difference. Striking out and walking, I mean, strikeout or ground out, it doesn't make a big difference. You still got out. I don't view that as a huge deal breaker. Now, slugging percentage, we're 9th, but we're only like a few percentage points behind everyone else. On base percentage, we are 15th. Total bases, 6th. So I mean, our hitting's probably top 5 in the league. Is where we're at. We're about top 5. But when it comes into pitching, ERA first, complete games only 4th. We didn't have guys pitch that many complete games, but we're first in ERA. We're tied for first in saves. O&D's had 54 saves. That's actually really good then. Blown saves, we're only tied for 3rd. So with how many saves we had, to only have 6 blown saves out of Diaz, only 18 total. That's pretty good. Hits allowed, we're lowest in the league. Runs allowed, lowest in the league. Earned runs, lowest in the league. Home runs allowed, lowest in the league. Walks allowed, this might be one of our struggles. Nope, it's still only 12th. That's manageable. Strikeouts were 4th. Win percentage were 1st by quite a bit. I mean, we have the best pitching in the league, which is ridiculous considering that this pitching roster is not that crazy. And all of it is players that the Diamondbacks already had, I think. It is, besides Ohtani. So, the bright side is, I want to say, if you're a Diamondbacks fan, your team might not even need to do anything. If your team turns out to be like this MLB roster, your pitching rotation could end up being the best in the league in a couple of years just based off your prospects. Obviously, that's a best case scenario. I don't know how I got so lucky with the team to develop this quickly. But, there you go. Now, I want to say this is the very first actual, I mean, it's only the 2nd season that we've been doing this, so this would be kind of, I mean, it might suck a little bit if we win the World Series this year, because then we already have to finish it, but, and I'm enjoying this team a lot, but we'll see what happens. One thing is, though, we are playing the Giants in the first round, and I have some bad history with the Giants, so we're going to go back a couple of months. There was a point of the season where, look, we went 4 games straight without scoring a run. 4 games straight. And 3 of those games were against, you guessed it, the San Francisco Giants. We were shut out throughout a whole series against them. So we have to play them again here. And based off how that series went, hopefully it's a little bit different. But if that's how it goes again, obviously we're not coming out going to be very successful. They barely made the playoffs with 88 wins. We are by far the best team in the league record-wise. Let's see if we can escape this series with a few wins. We won 6-3. We won 8-6. Lost 2-3. Why does this always happen to me? Why do we always win 2 then lose 2? This happens every single rebuild. I'm not even kidding. Every single rebuild, we win 2 then we lose 2 in the first round. We always do this. This game actually went 16 innings. Pollock had 7 at-bats. Yes, these guys had 7 at-bats. I don't like this. Who blew this game? Oh, Cook. I mean, our team's probably exhausted. That's a lot of pitchers that we had on the mound. Okay. On the last game of the mound, we have Ohtani against Jeff Samardzija. That should go in our favor. I mean, hypothetically, it should. But you never know. I'm really worried. And, okay, no, Ohtani's going to walk out there successfully. We're going to take down Jeff Samardzija. And now we have back-to-back All-Stars here to pitch Game 1 and 2 with Tajon Walker and Patrick Corbin on the mound. We have the best pitching lineup, like I said. Got a few All-Stars through here. Goldschmidt's killing it up to this point. So now we're going up against the Cubs. It'll be a bit more difficult. Arrieta versus Walker. We're going to lose that game. We're going to lose that game. Win, loss. Okay, we're already down 1-3. And we're going to lose in 5 games to the Chicago Cubs. Okay, how many? They only had 88 wins. They had many wins to the Giants, but we lost them way easier. They have a way higher rank, though. We know their team's better, so I can't base it completely off record. But let's remember, this team got this much better just based off potential. Just based off potential. If we keep developing, and oh my goodness, Fowler's already 83 overall. He's about to be one of the best closers in the league. He's only 21. So if we keep developing with all the prospects we already picked up from the last season. Oh, look at this guy, Ketel Marte. He randomly just developed into an 80 overall. This dude's he's about to be the starting second baseman over Drury. So think about it this way. He's going to get way better. Marte, he might be like an 85 overall by next season. Jake Lamb's a 92. Segura's at 84. I mean, just based off this team's roster. And a few extra guys I've got coming in and the trades that we can make if we wanted to. I'm saying next year's probably the year. I'm feeling confident. This might be the fastest rebuild. Yeah, so we're going to go into offseason now. I'll show you guys once we're in free agency, once we've signed all our guys. Well, first off, let's see who wins the World Series. This is the Cubs. No, the Indians actually defeat the Cubs. So, with that being the case, Jeff Mathis being the only one retiring, he was also played for the Angels at some point, I think. Yeah, way long ago. Played from 05 to, it was 2011 when he left. Wow, that makes me feel old. So, some big contracts we got to sign. Fowler, Segura, Segura and Goldschmidt will by far be the most expensive ones. But, we still have Vizcaíno, who's developing quickly. I mean, I'm really happy with this team. So, we're going to re-sign these guys, and I'll see you guys once we get to the real free agency, where we can sign some, hopefully, big name prospects if we have any money left over. So, I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, here we are. Another big off season. So this happens every year, every rebuild I do. There's always one of these years where some big guys come up. This is the year for that right here. So we could really dump all our chips into quite a few players. So first off, we can get a guy like Mesoraco, who might be a better option besides Carlos Torres, who's obviously going to be a rookie coming in. Not just a rookie in the major leagues, but a rookie of baseball. Never even playing in the minor leagues. That might be a better decision. Second base, we don't really need one of those. Third base, we don't need one of those. Jake Lamb developed. I wouldn't mind Bryce Harper, though. I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. Will anybody mind having Bryce Harper on the team? I think that's impossible. But the thing is, do we have any money? He'd be interested in coming here because he'd be a star, and we have the right type of, what was it, coaching staff that he liked? Yeah, we got a coaching staff that he likes. Problem is, I don't know if we have any money, so if we can't get him, maybe Mesoraco is the guy we need to go with. 99 contact left, coming off a season where he batted 287 with 28 home runs and 93 RBIs. Mesoraco might be the better option in terms of team needs. If we can get him, that'd really bolster our team. Maybe a couple of relievers, you know, but those could be easy to trade for. Yeah, we can't afford that contract. That was to be expected, I have to say. It would have been really nice to get him, but we gotta be realistic with our options. What does it mean team quality is not a contender? Our team quality is a contender. We made it to the NLCS. Is this game fucking with me right now? Look at this team roster. We are definitely a contender, Mesoraco. We can't afford you anyways, but I don't even want you right now because that was kind of offensive. Can we sign anybody? This contract will be worth about $6.5 million a year. Can we afford that at least? Maybe try to sign Clip. Well, let's try to sign Strop first. We can afford Strop. You signed the Yankees offer? Oh, suck my ass. Okay. There you go. I'll give you 4.1 for 1 year. Clippard, if you want to just come over here and sign. You accepted the Angels offer of 4.1? You are such an asshole. It was the same offer. He just accepted the... Okay, you know what? This is going to come back to bite those teams. Once we're in the World Series and we're winning rings and those guys aren't, then it'll come back to bite them a little bit more. I ain't even worried about it. So we're not signing anybody this year, but to be honest, I don't know if we need to. I mean, this team is like already... I mean, obviously I can't assume that our pitchers are going to be as good this year as they were last year, because that was just crazy. That didn't make sense. But, I mean, let's say they are. We still have all these trade value. We have all these top 50 prospects. We have 4 pitchers that are top 50 prospects. We have a top 50 prospects at catcher, at closing pitcher. I mean, we have trade value, and I just might utilize it. So we're gonna go into the next season. We don't have really any money to sign anybody, anyways. I'm just happy we're able to get back everybody we wanted. We still have some money. We have some money. Do we want to sign anybody? Maybe Robinson Chirinos for a year. I mean, oh, he batted 195. No. You're not playing on this team. Anybody else? Maybe a low-end deal to be decent. I mean, we don't need any of that, though. So we're going on to the next season. And we'll just see how all that goes for us. I think next season might be a really big season. Obviously, we weren't able to sign anybody that big. But, I mean, we don't need to when you have this much development on your team. It might naturally just work out for us. So, I'll see you guys in just a second once we're in the next season doing some simulations. So, I'll see you guys then. Okay, guys, we just simmed the next season. Yeah, we're just going to sim through all this stupid spring training shit. Overall wise, our guys just keep getting better. Otani's now a 93, Walker's a 90, Corbin's at 87, Miller's 87, Robbie Ray's an 84. Brent Fowler, I moved him to a reliever, but he's up to an 87 overall now. I might switch him back to closer. I might move Diaz back to reliever. I don't know what I'm going to do, but Diaz coming off a great year. We'll let Fowler just be a setup man for this year, and maybe if we don't win the championship this year, we'll let him be a an actual full-time closer in the next season. But I mean, the potential here in the bullpen's pretty awesome. We got some great bullpen players. I might trade for a few more though, just to get a couple more assets there. I mean, I already like our rotation, our lineup. I'm liking a lot too. I mean, I like the top end of it at least. I mean, the back end could get a little bit better. We got a few differences now. Torres is now obviously batting. He's gonna play pretty awful. He's gonna bat probably below 200. Just based off that contact. But Ketel Marte is a guy that now earned a playoff or a MLB roster spot. He actually took the spot. I believe he took the spot of Drury. No, Drury's. Yeah, he took the spot of Drury. So he's just DH. But in normal situations in the NL, obviously Drury will be on the bench. And then we have Ketel Marte to start. So with that, we have Desmond Tom. I mean, there's a few upgrades we could do. We just don't have a lot of money. So this team could be looking really good this season. So we're gonna start simming and let's see what happens. So far, 5. Okay. The pitching's looking good. They're not scoring that many runs usually. Okay. Tajon Walker's 3-0 with a 1.43 ERA. Oh, let's see what else. Accidentally dropped my controller. Eddie Escobar. No, that's not my team. I was gonna say that's not a guy I have. Patrick Corbin 3-1 with a 2.48. Otani's actually not doing that great, but it's a bit odd. Brent Fowler is struggling a little bit. A 6.75 ERA is not really what I want. But Otani needs to step it up. Outside of that, that's looking good through the first month. Batting wise, Shinjikar's batting 310. I like that. Pollock's batting 179. I'm not going to worry about that. He'll probably turn that around. High batting averages from not that many people. Okay, a lot of these guys are struggling actually batting wise. We didn't have the best season in terms of hitting or in terms of play either. We only went 15-8. Some another month. Let's see if we can click a little bit more this month. And the hitting still a lot of very close games. That month we're now 31-19. Still good enough for a playoff spot. We're the 4th ranked team right now in all of baseball. Otani, yeah, he turned it around. It's a 2.49 ERA, 2.27, 2.09. The only person who doesn't have a great ERA is Miller. Everybody else is in the mid to low 2s. Did Brent Fowler turn it around? Not really. I'm gonna give him time. I mean, the dude's the best pitcher we have, probably best relieving pitcher we have. He's so good. So we gotta give him time. Segura's doing good. Pollock's turning it back around. He's back on fire. Goldschmidt's doing good. Brandon Drury's batting 310. So he actually took the spot back for second base. What happened to our second baseman then? Actually, okay, he broke his ankle, but that might have been a blessing in disguise because now Drury's batting 310. So now that we gave Drury some competition, he's starting to play quite a bit better. Roger Otani's now a 96 overall. What the hell? Okay, so we definitely have our ace. So we're gonna see another month. It's the first year player draft. I didn't obviously scout. You guys were watching me. I obviously didn't scout. So I don't think scouting. Once we reach to a point where our team's this good, scouting seems almost kind of unnecessary. We had 3 straight shutouts there. Look at that. A 7-0 win, another 7-0 win, and then a 4-0 win. That's pretty awesome. There's nothing I like more than having some awesome pitchers. I gotta be honest. It's not usually my thing. I usually get batters. All 5 of our starting pitchers are on fire. Look at these. Oh my goodness. Look at these ERAs. Robbie Ray, the 2.2 ERA, 1.89 Corbin, a 10-2 record, 2.13 Walker, 8-5 record, a 2.27 from Otani with 6-5. The truth is, their ERA should not be that good and have that bad of a record. So either they're just bad at pitching when they really need to pitch, or our batting is just not where it needs to be. And I'm going to assume that it's the latter. So Miller, although he's only the worst ERA, he's got an 8-2 record. Now, I do want to mention, Corbin's starting off great, but remember, this happened last season as well, and it went downhill pretty quick. So I'm not going to jump the gun. I'm not going to make any conclusions. We're just going to see how it goes. Fowler's okay. There's a few guys that ERAs need to be fixed. What do you guys think? You think we should max out this bullpen? I'm thinking we should, because 89. Oh, look at how good these bullpen players are. They have 3 solid ones. Giving them some money, so we're going to just trade a few. I mean, if this Cayeno's oh, this guy's really good as a prospect. Yeah, all we have to do is trade him, because he is, how top prospect level is this guy? 4th. He's the 4th best prospect. Anybody else we have way up here? Fujinami at 14th. I mean, we still have 20 at Marquez, 24th at Banda. We still have great prospects. And to be honest, even though he's a great pitching prospect, with how good our pitching is, likely it is he's not cracking that rotation anytime soon. And even if he does, it won't make a big difference because our pitching rotation's that good. And I'd rather have 3 crazy good relievers. Sadly, they don't. Okay, so what do we need to do? There might be a glitch that's making it so this won't happen. Sometimes they say they're not interested, but it's actually a glitch because we don't have enough money. Could that be the issue? We just don't have enough money. We're not really overpaying anybody though. We've done a pretty good job with contracts to make sure that we're not overpaying anybody. Besides this guy, this guy's getting overpaid. Anybody else we can add to the deal that we can? There we go. Yeah, we just had to add him. The thing is, like I said, they just weren't getting enough money. I did not actually want to trade that right fielder though. Oswaldo Arcia, the reason I didn't want to trade him, he has 97 power versus righties. 97 power versus, that's ridiculous. They have Aaron Judge is getting really good. Look at that. So this updated roster has Aaron Judge with the A potential, 87 overall. That's pretty awesome. He's obviously killing it in real life, but 97 power versus, that's so good. So obviously I didn't really want to get rid of him, but we have Peralta already, who's, I mean, he's not doing the best, but he's been pretty consistent for us, and I don't think it's right to get rid of him with how good he's been playing for us. Let's see, Carlos Torres. The 183. That's actually what I told you guys he's gonna bat below 200, so I'm not gonna pretend like I'm surprised. But now we have such a crazy relieving rotation. I mean, look at that. Jaime Garcia, Brent Fowler, Pedro Strop, Archie Bradley, Dylan Betances, Andrew Chafin, Ryan Cook, Randall Delgado, Edwin Diaz, and our current rotation of high 80s and mid 90s overalls. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Look at these overalls in this bullpen. Like, it's naturally gonna, yeah, we naturally have to fix that roster, but look at this: 82, 84, 83, 85, 82, 88, 89. I mean, okay, no, they messed up this roster. We don't need that many bullpen players in the majors. What we need is less bullpen players. And wait, where the hell are all these guys coming from though? A few of these bullpen guys I don't recall. Let me just make a note of this. Shipley, maybe we need one long relieving pitcher. Okay, so this bullpen's solid, but I think we need more guys to back up in our lineup. I mean, we have like nobody. That's not a very good idea, I don't think. Like, I feel as though maybe St. John should be in the MLB I mean, I think we need more than just one guy off the bench. I think, and Phil St. John's been killing it in Double A. He was batting 289 if you guys are looking at that. It's a great prospect, and I think if we ever need a guy to take a break, he's the guy we need for it. I don't think it's good to have all of those guys in the because sometimes our position players are going to get tired, and if they're tired and we have no backups, then we're going to start playing way worse because they're going to get really tired. Especially considering that our hitting's been the issue. We don't need to have more bullpen players. Okay, come on, step it up. There we go. We needed that sweep. A trade offer at the trade deadline. Trying to give me Jason. Okay, no. That guy's not good at all. That's just not a worthwhile trade. So we're still going. Obviously, we're past the trade deadline, so right now we're kind of just going in on it. There's nothing we can do now. So, I don't really know if this year's team has been better or worse than last year's team. It's been pretty awesome. I'm not gonna pretend like it hasn't been, but last year's team was really good too. Last year's team I think won 102 games. This team's on pace. This team's on the same pace, if not on a better pace. But let's look at stats real quick. Right now, Ohtani's 11 and 11. You know, we can just simp to the rest. No point just looking at stats right now. Okay, that season we won 103 and 59. We didn't finish that great. And we have to play a wild card game with 103 wins. You are, oh my goodness, I forgot. We've done the Rockies rebuild and the Padres rebuild. I forgot how tough it is to win a World Series when you're playing in the National League West, because they make the Dodgers so goddamn good in this game. Me being an Angels fan too, I'm not particularly fond of the Dodgers. I don't dislike them, but obviously as Angels fans, I have too many friends who are Dodgers fans, and you kind of have to butt heads. But dude, I don't like the fact that we won 103 games. We even have to play a wild card game. We have what's the second best record in the league, and we got to play a wild card game. I'm not happy. Either way, Ohtani's 11-11 with a 2.42 ERA. Tajon Walker 17-6 with a 2.06. Patrick Corbin 17-5 with a 2.64. Shelby Miller 17-8 with a 3.03. Four of these 5 guys could at least be Cy Young candidates. Maybe not Ohtani, but 3 of these guys could be Cy Young candidates. Bullpen wise, for the overalls that we have in this bullpen, the fact that these ERAs are this high is kind of ridiculous. I mean, all these guys are probably we have like, I mean, what is this? 8 guys? We have 8 guys in here. These are probably 8 of the top 10 relievers that they have in this game. They're not playing that good either. Segura's 300 with a 300 batting average, 20 home runs, 80 RBIs, and 29 stolen bases. That's awesome. Pollock having his worst year at this point, but we'll live with it. Jake Lamb did great. Goldschmidt also did fantastic, hitting 110 RBIs out of that number 4 spot. Seems like he's enjoying batting 4th a little bit more than 3rd, because it looks like his stats are a little bit better there. And then back in the hitting, there wasn't really anybody who like surprised me. Marte is overall still going up higher, but his stats weren't that great. And same with Carlos Torres. I mean, he's our rookie who's expected to be really, really good, but his stats aren't that phenomenal. So, we gotta play this game though. Ohtani versus, oh god damn, I forgot the Giants have Mad Bum. This is the one situation where a wild card game. This is the one like main situation in baseball where having an ace pitcher is more important than anything else in the world. Because having a guy like Mad Bum, who's well known to be one of the best playoff pitchers of all time. Maybe not all time. Maybe I'm jumping that gun. One of the best playoff pitchers of our generation. I mean, just primarily because, or he had one of the best playoff performances of our generation. I don't know how you want to put this all into play, but obviously a couple of World Series ago, he was the reason basically the Giants won the World Series. And having him on the mound for the Giants is kind of a big boost for them and a big shot in the dick for me, because I don't know how we're going to get out of this with the win. We really just gotta gotta get lucky with this sim. Shohei Ohtani obviously had a great postseason last season. I'm just talking because I don't want to click the triangle button, because that's going to mean we probably lose, but let me just do it. And yeah, we lost 4-5. We lost 4-5, and it's not even because we didn't do good against Bumgarner. It's because our bullpen fucked up. Let's see. Ohtani only gave up 3 runs. Bumgarner only gave up 3 runs. Then Fowler came up and gave up 2. That was our rookie who was supposed to be really good. Okay, the good news is we got one more year with this team. I say next year's the last year regardless of anything. This roster is way too good for us not to be a... Wow, this potential is going up. This roster is just way too good for us not to be the championship team. Maybe we could work on the batting, but our pitching is just too good, so we don't need to work on... I don't think... Jake Lamb... Okay. Either way, what I'm saying is I don't think working the batting is the worthwhile investment of our money, considering how good our pitching is. I say we just keep... we just make sure we get all our pitching back for another year, and we'll be good. Nobody on our team retired. So we need to hire a coach real quick. Oh. Controller battery died. Let's get this all going. There we go. There we go. Okay. We need to sign a first base coach. +3 speed, +3 fielding. That's pretty awesome. +3 speed, I'll take that. Give him some good money. No, I didn't even hire coaches. Manage contracts. Oh, great. Oh, we don't have the money for this. Our team is like too stacked. We don't have this much money. I'm going to try signing these guys. We're going to see what we can do. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. So I'll see you guys in a second once we try to find a way to afford all these players. Okay, guys. The real free agency market just opened, and let's just open that. Let's see. The Diamondbacks are currently over their player budget and will be unable to sign any free agents unless they free some player salary. That basically epitomizes how this free agency went. Just re-signing those players just completely killed my budget. This free agency class is pretty solid too. There's a lot of solid players up here. But we can't even hire our first base coach. That first base coach didn't sign. So we don't have any money to sign a first base. Like, we have no money. Like, we're gonna just sign a bottom of the barrel F overall coach. And I hate doing that. Like, I hate getting shitty coaches. But it's what we had to do because our team is just stacked. Like, it's stacked. Like, this team is... I don't know how else to put it. Like, this team is stacked, but we somehow have not made it out into the World Series yet. So next season is the next season, regardless of what happens. Knowing how good this team is, we still probably won't even be the division winner, just because how crazy the Dodgers are. I mean, the Dodgers are the only team more stacked than us. They're like the only team more stacked than us. They got Mesoraco too, and Kevin Pillar. So that's the thing. The only team better than us. But we're gonna send them into the next season, and with our team's potential, they're only gonna get better. So we're gonna send them into the next season, see if our team gets any better, and then see if we can enjoy a nice long season. Hopefully that will result in a World Series run. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Okay, guys, we're now at spring training. I mean, our team's looking just as stacked as it did last year. Some guys coming back even stronger. Some guys coming back a little bit worse. Now, I gotta say, with Pollock now at 32, Goldschmidt now at 32, I am slightly concerned that there might be a little bit of a decline that might be going on here fairly soon, which obviously I don't want, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm just saying there's a possibility they might get a little bit worse. Ketel Marte's now at 87, okay. And Carlos Torres is now at 85. So a lot of these guys are developing at ridiculously rapid paces. Brent Fowler's now at 92. Yeah, just hopefully he has a better year than last year, because he kind of blew the playoffs for us last year. And hopefully that gives him some motivation. That's one of the things that can make or break your career as a rookie. I mean, you have a devastating moment like that, either makes you work harder or it ruins your career. So we'll have to see how he bounces back this year. See if that's something he can overcome, and see if he's, he'll learn to deal with it. So, with this done, we might have to make a trade at some point at midseason, because this is the last year. And in the last year, I usually like to really dump all the chips into something and make sure that this team wins a World Series. So, with that being kind of the case, we're going to go with a last-ditch effort. So once we reach midseason, we're going to have to just look at this team, look how it's doing. I mean, that was a tough first season, or first month. And we'll have to dump all our chips into a big-name player. So, I mean, that's the thing, though. We don't really have any money. So we're going to have to really work around salaries and budgets and all that fun stuff to really make sure that, something works out for us. But I don't like all these series that we have against the Dodgers. They keep destroying us. I don't think we've won any series against the Dodgers. We played like them. We had like 4 series against the Dodgers at this point. I don't think we won any of them. Here's a trade offer. Ryan Schimpf, a decent third baseman. It's not going to crack our lineup, so it's not going to make a difference. Okay, we're 55 and 34. No chance. Oh, the Dodgers are only 40 and 41. What the hell? Why do they keep beating us then? They're not even playing that good, but that puts us not even that great of a record. But I mean, it's a pretty good record, but it not as good as the previous couple of years, as you guys can probably know. And still, the Dodgers aren't even in a playoff spot right now. They're close, half a game out, but they're not in one yet. So I'm just going to focus on those positives. And right now our division's looking pretty easy, so this might be our best chance that we're going to have to be a playoff or be a World Series contender. So ERA-wise, Robbie Ray is struggling a little bit. Archie Bradley is for some reason in the starting lineup. Did something happen to one of our pitchers? Shelby Miller tore his rotator cuff, putting Archie Bradley a chance back into the starting rotation. He doesn't have. It doesn't feel like he has the stamina for that, though. So I'm gonna say we call up Fujinami, and we let him pitch the rest of the season. I'd rather have Bradley in the bullpen, to be honest. So yeah, Fujinami's in now. Bradley's back out there. So hopefully Fujinami does good for us. These 3 pitchers are doing crazy. I mean, Otani is 1.87 ERA. That's awesome, with a .9 WHIP. In our bullpen, a .6 ERA out of Yaimi Garcia. That's awesome. Pretty bad ERA out of Cook. Brent Fowler's now a 96 overall. Please tell me you're doing good. Okay, yeah, no, .95 ERA with 20 innings pitched. Talking about making or breaking a career, this made his career. This dude's doing way better. Has almost as many innings pitched as last year, with just a way better ERA. Edwin Diaz is struggling a little bit. We might be moving spots. We might let Fowler take that closer role pretty soon. Batanzas doing great too. So our setup men are doing fantastic. But Diaz is on the up and up. He's on, he's got the fire next to his name. He's ready to go. Goldschmidt's doing great. Pollock's doing way better than he was last season. Segura, they probably know they're getting up there in age. They got to put all their energy up here into one last big push. Phil St. John's batting 324 for us. he can play left field and right field. We might move him to right field and have him play over Peralta. But Peralta's batting. Oh, Yasmani Thomas is the one who's been playing awful for us. So maybe Phil St. John, maybe you want to play left field, maybe? Let's see. Let's move him to a left fielder. That moves him pretty close, and now I'd rather have Phil St. John than Yasmani Thomas, to be honest. I can't believe that's happening, but yeah, no, Phil St. John is just, I mean, you're batting 324, so, and the dude's always, he's got the stats to be a great hitter, so if he's having one of those years, we need all the hitting power we can get. Carlos Torres is batting awful again, 181 batting average, but like you guys know, we got him for the, look at those fielding stats, we got him for those. Hence some home runs, I guess. I mean, nothing crazy. He's just kind of what I expected. There we go, back-to-back shutouts against the Rockies. Now we're playing almost at the trade deadline, and you know, we're just gonna go right through it because truthfully at this point our team is really good. I feel confident in our team, and truthfully we don't have any money, so I don't see any chance of us working around those budgetary constraints. We went on a little bit of losing streak there. It looks like we're bouncing back right here though. Back into that month we did really well. Come on, turn it around, guys. No more losing streaks. I mean, likely it is the Dodgers are only going to start doing better. Yep, the Dodgers did start doing a lot better. They're only 3 games behind us now. We have one of the better records in the league. Angels have 97 wins. I'm actually low-key kind of happy. We can't let the Dodgers take our spot. We've already clinched a postseason appearance, it looks like. Yeah, we did, but we're only 3 games up, so all we have to do, luckily we're in the driver's seat, all we have to do is win games. Now that's 4 games up. We have clinched the division. The Dodgers did clinch the wild card, so we will likely face them at some point here, unless they somehow get eliminated in the first or in the wild card game. And if they're playing the Giants, it's possible because they have Mad Bum, or even the Cubs, they have Arrieta. So hopefully something works out. But then again, the Dodgers have Kershaw, so who even knows what will happen at this point? We have 97 wins. The Angels have 102 wins. What the hell? So actually, win-wise, this is the worst season we've had in a couple of seasons. And yep, the Dodgers who we're going to be playing. Luckily, though, we won't be playing Kershaw until a few games in because he pitched 8 innings. He threw a shutout. He threw 8 innings of shutout ball. But since we won't be playing him until then, that might give us a huge upper hand. So let's look at stats real quick. Ohtani finished the season 16-8 with a 2.48. Tajon Walker 10-12 with a 3.1. So worst year we've seen in a while from him. Another great year from Corbin, 14-6 with a 2.61. Fujinami was 5-3 with a 4.04. He was a rookie. I mean, I didn't expect a ton out of him. Robbie was 14-8 with a 4.5. I expected more out of him after those last 2 years, but that's okay. Archie Bradley did great, 8-2 with a 3.45 out of that bullpen role. Yami Garcia 5-2 with a 1 ERA. That's awesome. Hit 108 innings pitched. So to have 108 innings pitched, only pitch a 1 ERA, I'm really happy with that. Pedro Strop 7-7 with a 2.76. That's great too. Ryan Cook, I like this guy because his overall was great when we got him. And we got him in the Greinke trade, but he has sucked so much ass ever since we got him. Look, his best ERA was this year with a 4.19. Not acceptable. Fowler may have just made himself known as the best reliever in baseball. Second year in the league, already a 97 overall, 23 years old, but 52 innings pitched with a .69 ERA. I mean, that's crazy. So he was just killing it. Dylan Betances also killing it, 2.08 ERA. How about Diaz? Pretty good, 44 saves. Okay, Fowler had a few saves, Betances had a few saves, but majority always go to Diaz. He had 44 saves on that season. But that's awesome. So outside of Cook, that was a really awesome rotation and lineup. Gene Segura batted 271, 27 home runs, 35 RBIs, another great year. But he did go down overall just a little bit. AJ Pollock, 309 batting average, 34 home runs, 16 stolen bases. So one of the lower stolen bases totals of his career, but the highest home run total of his career, I think. Yeah, by far the highest home run total of his career. So I'm really happy with that. Goldschmidt, 299, 34 home runs, 102 RBIs. Also possibly a high in home runs for him. No, 2013 he had 36, but pretty close. Another great year out of him. Jake Lamb, 28 home runs, 87 home runs, or 28 home runs. Could you imagine 87 home runs? 87 RBIs and 257 batting average. The worst ER out of him in a couple of these seasons, but that's okay. Peralta batted 294, so there we go. I'm glad we held on to him, let him bat that season. Please tell me Phil St. John did what yeah, Phil St. John batted 302, so I'm really glad we put him, and he had 26 stolen bases, so I'm really glad we let him take advantage of his chances. Ketel Marte batted 312. Brandry batted 271. Torres batted 213. So, I mean, besides Torres, everybody in our lineup batted really high. Like, everybody. The next worst line was Jake Lamb was 257. And then I think it goes straight to Gene Segura at 271. Everybody else was batting 290 or higher. So, our lineup was crazy. Awards. Cy Young Award did go to Ohtani. Oh my god. Look at Giancarlo's stats. What the hell? 341, 51 home runs. And Trout, obviously, is kind of the perennial MVP candidate in the AL, but that's crazy. Ohtani, his stats weren't even that good, so it's a bit odd that he was the Cy Young winner. But it was bound to happen at some point. I mean, the dude's only getting better and better, so. With our Cy Young on the mound, we're going to lose the first game, lose the second game, win the third game. Ohtani's back on the mound. We actually won the game against Kershaw of all games. Ohtani's back on the mound against Sean Manaea. I mean, we need to win this game. This is the last. I gotta mention right now because I know I always mention in these things. This is the last season. We put a lot of time into this, and there's no. I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that the only reason we're losing games now is because of stupid MLB simulations. So this will be the last season, no matter what happens here. So let's go sim that last game, or hopefully not the last game. Okay, there we go. We're gonna win 9-4 in that game. One game left. Here we go. Walker versus Urias. That's quite the matchup. Urias developed quite well. 94 overall now. He was 13-12, a 2.76 ERA throughout the season. Ohtani. Let's see. Walker was 10-12 with a 3.1, so not the best year from him. But this is a big matchup. Two guys who've been viewed as top prospects throughout the majority of their career, going at it in Game 5 of the NLDS. The starters are out right now. I mean, Ohtani is gone. Our aces are gone. Ohtani is gone. Kershaw is gone. Those guys need to take a break. Those guys were just pitching. So it's coming down to the number 2 pitchers. Guys who developed to be exactly as good as they were hoping to be. Urias now a 94 overall. Walker now a 93. Two guys that really panned out to make the best out of their careers. Going at it in Game 5. The Dodgers obviously starting off 2-0 in the series. Not looking to throw it away here. But we are trying to pose a comeback. Whoever wins this is likely the favorite to win the World Series. Us being the number 2 ranked team, the Dodgers being the number 1 ranked team. Let's see what happens here. And there we go. Walker will be the more dominant pitcher. Actually, that's debatable. We only won in the bottom of the 10th inning on a walk-off. Urias, 6 innings, only 1 earned run, and 12 strikeouts. Walker, 7 innings pitched, only 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts. So not nearly as many strikeouts, 1 more inning pitched, same amount of earned runs. Urias was dominant. We're going to give that to him. But in the bottom of the 10th, it appears that, and let me do some math real quick. Yep, in the bottom of the 10th, the person who won the game for us on a walk-off double was none other than St. John, the rookie we got a couple of years ago, the guy we let take over. And right now he's playing right field, so the guy we let take over earned that spot, and proving that we should have given it to him, and proving that it was right of us to give it to him. Getting a walk-off there, and probably the most important game to this point in his career. So now we're going up against the St. Louis Cardinals, and we're going to lose the first 2 games, win the next 2, lose the 5th, and now we got to come back and be victorious once again. We got the best 2 pitchers in our rotation up right now, Ohtani and Walker. So if we have any good chances against Walker and Reyes, this will be the best chance we have to win the National League CS, but who knows what's going to happen. So let's prepare to win this game. And Ohtani, of course, what he's been doing all season, the Cy Young Award winner, 8.1 innings pitched of shutout baseball. Diaz coming in to end it with a 0.2 shutout innings. What more can you expect from him? The dude does it all. One of the more dominant pitchers in the league, and obviously Walker's having a great postseason to this point. Had a phenomenal game in Game 5 of the ALDS. He could be a real game changer if he somehow comes out successful against Jake Odorizzi. Why do they have Odorizzi on the mound? Either way, if he comes up big against Odorizzi, this could really change the course of the game. Odorizzi's struggling a lot, 0-2 with an 8 ERA. Walker should be the successful pitcher here. Can we come back against another game? Can we come back against another deficit in a series to win once again? And we can. Tajon Walker is going to be Odorizzi. Obviously, that was kind of what I had to expect. It's a way better pitcher on the mound. The Cardinals did pose a comeback there on the top of the 9th. They got 2 runs against Cook. Okay, why the hell is Cook even playing baseball anymore? You know what? You know what? I think it's about time that we do this. This makes no sense, but since it's about the end of the rebuild anyways, I don't like Cook at all. Get the oh, wait. Replacement must be added. 1 second. That was going to be really cool. Add to playoff roster. Wait. Of DL. As of September 1st. Do we have anybody on that? Never mind. He's going to stay on the team. I just don't want him playing. Why do I have to find a replacement? I just don't want him on the team. I can't release him either. I just don't want him on the team. Okay. That's really bad thing. Because I was about to be all badass. Like, oh yeah, we're going to release him. And then I wasn't even allowed to. But this is going to be a funny way to end things. In this year's World Series, I'm going up against none other than my favorite team in baseball, the Los Angeles Angels. I don't know why this game has to pull a cruel joke on me. I guess the benefit is, regardless of how this ends, I'm a winner in some way. I'm happy if the Angels win the World Series. But obviously, I'm trying to come out victorious. And Ohtani here is going to beat Andrew Heaney in Game 1. Game 2, we're going to win that game as well. This game will be, yeah, we're going to get a run in the 10th inning to actually win that ball game. So very late game, figuring out a way to win that one. We actually lit up Andrew Heaney. Ohtani didn't even play good either. He gave up 5 runs. But we got 6 runs and 5 earned runs against Heaney. And then we got 3 more runs against Shoemaker. So we did exactly what we needed to do. Segura hit 2 home runs that game. Awesome. That might be the World Series MVP at that pace. I mean, 2 home runs that game. St. John hit a home run that game. I'm loving it. We are just killing it. Patrick Corbin versus Guerra. We're going to lose that game. But Fujinami. Why is Fujinami on the mound? Whoa. Why? I mean, it's not the longest rest ever, but why is Ohtani down? No. Unless Ohtani somehow for some reason was pitching one of these games, and let's just check. He wasn't pitching that game. And he wasn't pitching that game. So no, Ohtani's going to be on the mound. He's the Cy Young winner. He's going to be on the mound before Fujinami, a rookie who did not do all that well. Yeah, he's not going to be on the mound before them. Ohtani ends up losing, actually. But it's okay, because... Wait, they put Fujinami in anyways. No freaking way. They put Fujinami in without me wanting them to. And he goes 8 innings of shutout baseball with 10 strikeouts. That's actually really funny. So, I switch out Fujinami with the intention that he was going to suck. And in fact, Ohtani ends up being the losing pitcher. And Fujinami throws one of the best games you can throw. I mean, 8 innings of shutout ball. Giving up almost no hits and getting 10 strikeouts. So now... this is a situation where now we have to be the team to not blow the lead. And all the other series, we've had to come back with a streak and a rally. The Dodgers, we were down 2-0. We came back to win 3 straight to win the ALDS. The Cardinals, we were down 2-0. We came back to tie it at 2-2, then just to go down to 2-3. But it meant nothing because we came back to win the last 2 games of the series to win that series 4-3. But now in the World Series, things are getting more interesting. We won the first 2. Now it looks like we're on the other side of things. We won the first 2, lost the second 2, and won the third one. That is the opposite of what happened in this series. Don't tell me we're going to get some reverse karma now. We don't have Ohtani on the mound for this game, but we have 2 great pitchers. That should be better than these guys. But Skaggs having a great postseason, and so is Alberto Guerra. And they're having better postseasons than these guys. But Walker has been doing great recently. He's been doing great in those closeout games too. Can Walker close out all 3 series? He can't. Skaggs is going to throw an absolute masterpiece. Walker going 6 innings, only giving up 1 run. But Skaggs almost throwing a complete game shutout against us. Our team had no answer for him. So here it goes, all on the line. Patrick Corbin versus Alberto Guerra. I gotta say, I'm going with the assumption Corbin should have won this game, but he's having a rougher postseason. Let's look at Guerra's overall real quick. He's having a great postseason now. Guerra is a 82 overall rookie who had a good season, but he's an 82 overall rookie. You cannot tell me, game, this guy's going to come out successful against us. They have Craig Kimbrell now? Okay, this seems interesting. Let's take a look. This is the World Series team, so we're going to take a look at what they have. Probably should have done that at the beginning. But they also have Jonathan Shoop. I mean, this team looks way different than it did, or than it does in real life. Their outfield looks the same, but there's no doubting that the only reason they're here is because Trout. I mean, this team's not that great. This team should not be better than ours. We worked our ass off to make our team this good. Like, this team is, like, overpowered. We have basically an all-star team. We should not be losing to a team led by just one player. But, I mean, that's how good Trout is. I'm obviously going to be a bit biased because I'm an Angels fan, but without any further ado, Game 7 of the National League World Series. And we are going to win 7-6. View box score. We are going to win it off a top of the 9th run. So another crazy shocker in this game. 7-6. This was a high-scoring game. I mean, look at this. 4 RBIs for Goldschmidt in that game. In the closeout game, he went 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Goldschmidt, he knew this was one of his last chances to win a World Series. He's getting a bit up there in age. He's running low on his contract. He knows that the Diamondbacks are running low on money. We will not be able to re-sign him. He wanted to walk out of here as a World Series champion, and he was the difference maker that made that possible. Let's check now. If we look here, awards. Playoff MVP will be Phil St. John, but World Series MVP will go to Paul Goldschmidt. Both are very understandable. St. John hitting multiple walk-offs to give us a chance. Paul Goldschmidt really being the game changer there. And, I mean, he was the game changer in Game 7 of the World Series. 8 RBIs, only 1 home run, but 8 RBIs throughout the World Series, 4 of which coming in Game 7. And that's all we ever could have asked for. I mean, this is the team, guys. This is the World Series team. Lineup: Gene Segura, AJ Pollock, Paul Goldschmidt, Jake Lamb, David Peralta, Ketel Marte, Phil St. John, Brandon Drury, Carlos Torres. I mean, not a whole lot of changes compared to the original roster. The only difference you can see are Phil St. John, the guy we drafted, Carlos Torres, the guy we drafted, Gene Segura, a guy we traded for. The rest of this is pretty legitimately natural Diamondbacks players. Rotation-wise, the only difference we have is Fujinami and Ohtani. We made a big difference in the bullpen, but truthfully, we didn't make any real changes in this team. The only real changes we made were with the bullpen and a few slight changes, but I think that's what a rebuild's all about. You know, in the past few rebuilds, I've made some huge moves and some huge trades, but with this team, why do more than I have to? You know, this team had the right building blocks. All I had to do was let them develop and let them be the team they needed to be, and they were exactly that. They performed when they needed to perform, and this team really earned it. And obviously, Brent Fowler was a guy that we made a move for in the what was it, like the 4th or 5th pick in the draft, and he ended up being probably the best pick we ever could have gotten, turning out to be a 97 overall at just 23 years old. This dude could end up being one of the best relieving and closing pitchers of all time. I mean, at the pace, to be that good at that age, this guy's going to be really good. You can already tell. But that is the end of this rebuild, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you like the look of this team. I really hope you like the layout of this rebuild. Obviously, each rebuild is a little bit different than the last, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know this one's probably a little bit longer. I spent a lot of time on this one. I have to be honest, this rebuild was a lot longer than the ones I usually do. It really was. I put a lot of time into this rebuild. And it was enjoyable. You know, I thought I had a lot of fun with this team. I hope you guys did as well. And if you did, please click that like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of the series and what I can do to make it more interesting in the comment section below. And lastly, subscribe if you haven't already to stay tuned this series and other series I got going on my channel. I have to mention the support on this series has been crazier than any other series I have ever done and ever could have hoped to do. So, I mean, a thank you is not even enough. It just, doing this has obviously just been always a hobby for me, but it's turning into a real passion because of all the support you guys have been showing me. It makes me want to just make a video every single day, and that's why I'm trying to. So, thank you for all of that, and really I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.